Yo, it's MartydudeVR, and today we gotta talk about the Meganex Superlight 8K. So this headset has caused a lot of stir up and a lot of just pandemonium in the PC VR community, and it's time for us to go over pretty much how I fixed mine. So this is gonna be a whole video going over every fix that might help you if you're in my similar situation in terms of fixing this $1,800 VR headset. So a lot of you guys who follow me already probably saw this picture I put up on Twitter where I threw the Meganex in the trash can. And yeah, we've come a long way since then. Do I take back what I said? No. I still feel like the software for this headset is absolutely abysmal. And I will stand on that until they fix it. But shout out to the Meganex community. That honestly is probably one of the best communities that I've ever experienced in PC VR. They built a whole GUI, which is a graphical user interface for the driver for this headset, and even added custom distortion profiles to fix people who had different, obviously eyeballs and stuff like that, and vision. So basically, my custom distortion profile may not fit you, and then somebody else's might not fit me, vice versa, because we all have different eye shapes and different astigmatism or lack of astigmatism and stuff like that. But yes, they built a whole GUI, and it is the most amazing thing I've probably seen, and so quick. I'm talking about, we had a patch from Shift All that was probably like a few weeks ago, and it's been pretty much radio silent since then. Barely seen the guy who is kind of like the community head in the chat, and it's honestly just been the community literally fixing this headset. And I'll get into that later on in the video, and I'll even show you guys the GUI so far. And if you want to skip to that part of the video, I'll make sure I put the timestamp up there, or this video will be timestamped. You can just click through it. First things first is how I fixed the tracking. So tracking on this headset is absolutely terrible. And it's not terrible in the sense that it's just like, it doesn't work. It doesn't work most of the time. It's very bad. I'm not gonna lie. This dongle, trash. This is a very trash dongle. So instead what I did was I listened to the community. Shout out to Discord again. Thank you guys. Jesus Christ. I went through and I bought a dongle that somebody recommended off of Discord, and it worked way better. Another thing I had to do was I had to suspend the dongle from the ceiling. Yes, I literally had to suspend the dongle that I bought on Amazon on the ceiling using the AMVR cable management pulley system. And we're going to mention that pulley system a lot during this chat and this whole video, because that pulley system saves me a lot. And I do have an affiliate link in the description below, because I truly stand by the pulley system. If you're a PC VR guy who has wires, no brainer. And I might have a discount code down there too. And I got to make my money back for this headset. So, but yes, this dongle is a 3-in-1 dongle and was originally used with the HP Reverb G2. But shout out to Mark Mon in the Meganex chat. He actually put me onto it and said it actually works perfectly with the Meganex. At first, I didn't believe him, but after I did my little redneck method of suspending it from the ceiling, works perfectly all the time, and I barely have any issues with it. So honestly, I recommend it if you have another headset that has tracking issues, or if you bought a Superlight 8K and you have tracking issues. Yes, you're gonna need that dongle, because this one right here, the base one, trash. And now my situation is a little bit different because I am a content creator. I have a lot of different, knickknacks like a haptic vest and haptic guns and stuff like that. But even people who don't have all of that were still having issues. That's not good. But that was the first fix for the Superlight 8K. And our next fix is the L-shaped connector in the front of the Superlight 8K. This base one, terrible. I'll make sure I do a close-up so you guys can see it. This thing is probably the most shaky, connective I've ever seen for a VR headset. Personally, I rather would have wished they would have just stuck it down in the middle or something like that. But this moves a lot. So me, obviously, I'm on stream, or you do VR treadmill streams. I play a lot of shooters, so I'm always turning my head up and down, to the left and right. A lot of different other stuff that maybe people who play VR chat or sim racing may not do at a speed that I do. But this obviously is a multi-purpose headset and not just for flight simmers. People play other VR games. But even if you're a VR chatter, let's say you're a VR chatter and you're a person who has to turn a lot. This right here, the amount that it gets pulled by the cable and everything like that, this is terrible. And every time this moves, your headset is disconnecting and you're seeing static and all these random colors. And if you have epilepsy, ooh wee, yeah, this ain't gonna be a good thing for you. So what I did was I got a right angle adapter, basically from Cable Matters on Amazon. And so somebody in the Discord put me onto this, and it's a 40 Gbps transfer speed. So it's just as fast as the base one that comes with the Meganex. But I basically put the new adapter in here, and the cable now sticks out of the front, and I can even lift the headset up if I want to, like, you know, before. So very good fix if you are a person who moves a lot and you're gonna need some bit more sturdy than what they give you. And another thing I did was I put putty on the actual connector just to kind of keep it stuck to where it's supposed to be. And I know you guys noticed the whole video, what's this blue stuff on here? That is putty. And now I would have never thought about this, but somebody in Discord was like, hey, I did this and my cable hasn't moved. And honestly, you probably could do this with the base connector too, but honestly, I wanted to get rid of this thing because it pissed me off, I'm not gonna lie. But yes, putty on this fixed that issue. This cable right here does not move. Like, look at that, it does not move whatsoever. Now, obviously the hinge motion is, you know, still gonna move a little bit, but overall, this cable, it ain't moving, man. Let's see, it ain't moving. So that's exactly what you want if you have like a pulley system or anything like that, because it makes your life so much easier. And so to finish off the section with the wires, the next thing I did was I routed the wire throughout the headset and around the custom bubble strap I put on here, and to make sure that it doesn't get pulled crazy or even moves too much with the pulley system. And so basically to achieve the point that this cable will not move unless I want it to, I use cable ties, I use a cable clip holder, and I even put putty inside of one of the cable clip holders, and I use a cable clip organizer to basically hold this wire so that it does not move. So no matter how much the pulley system pulls on this wire right here is not moving. And if this wire doesn't move, that means my experience is still safe by using the Meganex. That means no disconnections, no losses of display, which I hated. Oh my god, I cursed them out bad. I'm not gonna lie, I cursed out shift off bad one stream because my cable kept disconnecting and it was pissing me off. That's originally why I threw the thing in the trash can, is I would play for like 10-15 minutes and then boom, disconnection. And I was like, bro, $2,000 for that is abysmal. I'm not gonna lie. Man.
Yeah, y'all got that. Heavy troopers, go ahead and deal with that.
You wanna die first? Oh no! Oh no! Lost tracking. Lost tracking. No.
Damn.
It's been rough, but point is, now the cable is fully secure. Like, this thing does not move. And if you have a Superlight 8K and you plan on doing anything more than sim racing or light VR chat, maybe, then yeah, you need to figure out a way to secure your wire. Now, you may not have to go as extreme as I did, but obviously I'm gonna show you guys close up B-roll of everything that I'm telling you, so you guys can see that yeah, this is really serious. And the very last thing for the wires is vacuum tubing. So if you're a person who spends a lot in one circle, or while you're playing shooters, goes to Tabor, or even in VR chat, say you're a person that turns around a lot, maybe you dance and stuff like that, you're gonna want to secure your cable. This cable is probably the weakest cable that I have ever used for a VR headset. Now, this is my 10th VR head. No, actually, this is my 9th VR headset out of 10. So the 10th one I just got was the Pimax Crystal Light that Pimax just sent me. But this cable right here is flimsy, and this is the longer cable. This is the $200 cable that I bought from them. Bought a $200 cable because I knew the other one was too short. And man, I regret it every day, because I should have just bought a cable off Amazon, because there's one that works off Amazon. So I'm really just using this cable until it dies. And once it dies, I'm throwing it outside. My old yeller it. Not gonna lie, my old yeller it. Vacuum tubing, and I'll send you guys the exact ones that I use for this cable. And it fits snug, and I haven't had an issue with it tangling or anything since. So when this cable moves a little bit or it tangles, you're losing connection. And I realized this one stream, I was like, this is the last issue I have to fix, because I fixed everything else and I was still having issues. And I was like, how? And I ended up reaching up and I touched the cable, and I was like, and it came back on. And I said, oh, this cable is flimsy. And so I said, okay, we got some things to fix. And so I did this for my Valve Index originally. Like my Index is probably the only cord that was really thick, or I felt like it needed one of these just to protect it. So the cable management pulley system and the vacuum tube goes perfect. Like you see right here, it's on there snug as a bug, literally no issues. And so that's pretty much it for how I protected my cable and how I pretty much fixed the issue of the Meganex Superlight 8K cable moving while you play, which causes disconnections, a lot of pain, sometimes even blue screening when the errors go through. Now, the next thing we gotta talk about is how I put a Bobo head strap for a Quest 3 on my Meganex. So one thing I realized very early with the Superlight 8K, this thing gets really hot, and I mean really hot. And even in my setup, I'm using on a treadmill, like I said, it gets hot, especially even though I have 2 fans blowing in here. It gets hot. So this is the best way that I know how to keep myself cool while playing VR. I'm not even sponsored by Bobo. I have no affiliations whatsoever with Bobo. I genuinely just like this head strap. I'm a PC VR guy. They don't mess with a lot of PC VR guys. I like this head strap. And so first thing I did was I used my redneck country sentences and I put tape on it. So I originally wanted to do a proof of concept. I put tape on it, and I ended up putting some zip ties around it to kind of keep it in place. Worked perfectly. And I said, oh, this works. And so once I did that and I got laughed at on Twitter by my friends, I was like, okay, we're gonna do a proof of concept too. So that time I ended up kind of cleaning up the tape and stuff like that. And then I realized, oh, the tape is actually gonna come off. So I said, ooh, that's not good. And so once I realized the tape was literally taking itself off, and then the zip ties weren't as secure as I figured, and my Meganex ended up falling off on stream, I said, okay, we gotta figure something out. And so the thing I saw in the Discord, and shout out to Discord, because I don't have a 3D printer. They're like, man, you got $2,000 for a VR headset, but no 3D printer. How do you think I got the money for the VR headset, guys? Because I don't have a 3D printer. And 2, I would never use it. I would literally only use it probably for this. First of all, for this, and then there was nothing else I would 3D print. I have no 3D printing dreams right now, okay? And so basically when I looked at the Discord, somebody used Velcro. And I was like, oh, Velcro is genius because you can literally stick it on, stick it off, and then do what you gotta do. So what I ended up doing was I ended up putting Velcro on the front of the headset, and I put zip ties around it just to make sure that even if the adhesive on the Velcro comes off, my headset stays on. Because the last thing you want while you're running around in VR or turning in VR is your $1,800 headset to come off your face and hit the ground or something like that. That would be worst case scenario, no fun. So I went through a lot of iterations of my redneck Meganex Bobo strap without 3D printing, and I came to something that works. So I tried it out on stream tonight, literally worked fine, no problems whatsoever. Only thing I'm gonna say, if you're gonna do something like this, make sure you actually put the adhesive in the right spot, because sometimes you can have one lens being higher than the other lens. So make sure you adjust it right, and you'll figure that out as you put it together. But overall, yeah, I've definitely fixed the heck out of this headset. And honestly, probably the biggest and the most fixes I've ever had to do to a VR headset ever in my life. And it's something I definitely never, ever in my life want to do again. But I'm telling you this so you don't have to go through what I went through. So there's your warnings. There's everything I did to fix my Meganex Superlight 8K in terms of hardware. Now let's talk about software. So there's obviously a new release coming for the homemade Discord-driven native Steam VR with a GUI driver for the Superlight 8K. And so I'm gonna show you guys how to install it. So right now you can install it and add your own custom distortion profiles. Now there is, probably by the time this video comes out, there's probably gonna be a whole new release. But that's for my people who are on a older release or don't want to upgrade yet, or just want to see how to install it generally. I'm gonna show you how to do that. All right, guys, so literally as I was sitting here, as Wars 3 literally dropped 0.5 version of the custom driver, and it literally has a UI. This is insane. There's so much detail, so much adjustability to this headset now that like my mind is blown. I literally recorded a whole tutorial for 0.4, which I might put out. I don't know. I don't know. I probably won't put that out. I mean, 0.5 is out, but I'm gonna walk you guys how to set this up. Stills. I mean, it's amazing. I'm not gonna lie. This is some really cool stuff. So wow. First things first. go to Steam VR. You're gonna need Steam VR. I already have it running right now, so I'm not gonna change it a little bit too much because it's gonna break things for me. But make sure you go to right click Steam VR, go to manage, then go to browse local files. You need to be able to get to your drivers. So the Steam VR drivers, which I've never dealt with before, are in the drivers folder under Steam VR. So go to here, go to drivers, and basically when you're in this folder, you made it. So now keep this folder open. You're gonna go to the Discord. The Shift All official Discord is gonna be in the description below, and I'll make sure I'll link it. Go to the Meganex 8K chat. That is the chat you want to go to because it's literally gonna have everything you need. Go to pinned, and it's gonna say SBoys3. Let me actually disable that. Here we go. It's gonna say SBoys3. It's gonna say custom head open VR version 0.50. So literally, it's the newest version. Created a GUI, which is a graphical user interface to configure the set, an adjustable FOV, capable of displaying the entire panel for up to 110 FOV. I don't know how, but he figured out a way to expand the FOV vertically and vertically and horizontally. So yeah, and we also allow a 2.6K mode if you don't want to run it at 4K, which helps a lot because some games just don't need 4K in. I'm gonna be honest with you. And there's also zoom distortion profiles to provide correction for diopters. Bro, when I tell you, this is some big stuff. This is some big stuff, but you're here with the tutorial, so we're gonna walk through it some more. Yeah, this is insane. So basically, you click that GitHub link to take you to GitHub. GitHub basically a place where code is stored, and so once you open GitHub, go to the right side of the screen. You're gonna go to releases. I'll say releases, go to version 0.50, open that, and then you're gonna go to the bottom of the page, and it's gonna say custom headset. It's basically gonna be a zip file. The first zip file you see, not source code, it's gonna be custom headset window.zip. So click that, you can save it. Let's see, I want to replace that. Yes. So basically you're gonna open this, and when you open it, make sure you extract it because you need to be able to get inside that folder. So go ahead and extract it, and then once you extract it, we're gonna take a peek inside the file so you guys can see what's in here. So you got two folders in here. You got custom headset GUI, which is basically how you open the graphical user interface for the driver. But you also have the custom headset open VR. That's what you're gonna drag into the driver area. Honestly, you could drag both if you want to kind of like just do like a shortcut. Personally, I would say just drag both. Just drag both in here. So you just do this, just copy it, and then literally just go back to that file explorer folder with the drivers and just paste them in there. So once you paste them in there, because the reason what I did was I put custom headset open VR, which was the second file and second folder in that extracted folder, and this custom headset open VR. And when you go in here, you literally have to touch nothing in here anymore. Nothing. Before you had to go in here and do things, but now you have to do nothing in there. Also, if you just want to drop the whole folder in there, you could also do that. But I'm literally gonna make sure I close the GUI to show you guys that it actually works. I'm just gonna copy list of drivers, paste, and then literally just double click the GUI, and then you click the exe. So it's gonna give you a little prompt that says it's not safe. It is totally safe. We have people in Discord that are seasoned programmers, security specialists. They literally do it all. If there was a virus in here, somebody would have saw it by now. But it works. It literally works. Wow. So you can change the maximum horizontal FOV, vertical FOV, IPD, a lot. And the distortion profiles, and basically what the distortion profile is used for, since this headset has diopters, everybody's experience is going to be different because of the way just the lenses are and the way the diopters work. So basically distortion profiles help you get a clear image. So I use the Mark Mom distortion profile. I actually slept on it. I thought it wasn't good, but it's actually really good. So you have that. I'm gonna go into that in a second. You also have distortion zoom, which is gonna help you a lot. And so if I pull up my Steam VR, let's do this. Let's pull up Steam VR, and I'm gonna pull my headset over here. My headset's currently on. Oh yeah, guys, when you actually turn on or use this driver, make sure the light is blue. If it's green, you might have some issues. There might be some conflicts. So make sure that the Meganex software is either turned off or it's not running, and then make sure that the light is blue. So if it's green, just hold it at the bottom, turn it off, and then turn it back on so it's blue, and then start Steam VR up, then you're good. But back to showing you guys what this actually does. So you can see Steam VR right now. I'm gonna put this to the side a little bit so you guys can see it mainly. And let me see, where's my controller at? Where's my controller? I done lost my controller. It's still in the Gunstock. But basically, pull up the controller. I'm gonna let it connect for a second. It's dying. So I'm basically gonna pull that up. And this is gonna be like basically to show you what this all does. So I'm gonna pull it towards the bottom of the screen and see if it's resizable. Okay, definitely needs to work on resizing. But if I mess with this distortion zoom, see how that changes? Oh, this doesn't change too much in the, oh wait, there we go. Maximum vertical FOV. I literally can change that. And you can see how everything gets real messed up, right? And what's cool is all you gotta do is go into the GUI and just hit that reset the default. Literally changes it back to what it was. So good. Light level, you can turn that up and down, IPD offset. You can literally go into all these settings and literally get the best situation for your VR setup. I loved it. Now let's talk about these distortion profiles before we get out of here. Distortion profiles. So I imported Mark Mon's distortion profile, and you can get it from the Discord. And so in the Discord, there's a thread section. There's a bunch of threads. If you want to help with development, go to the Java development thread. But if you just want the custom distortion profiles, go to custom distortion profiles and literally just scroll up in here, and they have a lot of them. Phantom posted some, Mark Mon posted his, and just a bunch of different people posted theirs. Personally, I would say just go through, try all of them. But for me, found one that worked. And it's funny, I just found this right before I did this video when I was testing out the GUI. But all I gotta do is double click the JSON, it imports right into the software. Oh my God, it imports right into the software. I don't know how they did this, but this is amazing. And basically what you can do is just hit this apply button, or if you want to export your own, you can do that. And there's also even a curve to show how the he explained the science to me, but I honestly, but basically to show that it curves right or something like that. You got to go into the Discord to kind of see how, or ask them how to explain that to you. I can't really explain it. But if you want to just select a distortion profile after you import it, all you got to do is go to this basic page and literally just click the drop down. So the default is a simple headset distortion profile that S-Boy 3 made. And then the 8K, I think is the original one that came with the headset. That isn't that good. I don't know if people will use it at all, but you know. And then you got Mark Mon and Phantom, which I imported also. So you literally, it's so easy, man. This is so great. Oh man, I love PC VR. And then you can even update the color scheme. Like it's just a lot of stuff in here that, come on, man. If you want, it's funny because it's kind of like Pimax's software, but we're not gonna talk. It's great though. But I have mine in advanced mode. If you don't want to see all the extra options, turn that off. Go back here. You literally got 6 options, 7 options. Easy. It's so easy, bro. So easy. You probably do it in your sleep. That's it. Like that's literally it. Like it's so easy. I love this. Like I hate that Shift All couldn't do this. Like it's kind of sad, not gonna lie, but it is what it is. But that's pretty much it, y'all. Wow, I can't believe that dropped mid video. I knew that was gonna happen. I literally knew that was gonna happen, but that's pretty much it for the video. Wow, I am impressed with the community, man. S-Boy 3, Chen, y'all have done it. Like that is some great GUI work, great coding, great programming. As a programmer myself, I have my utmost respect because you guys did it. Thank you so much for saving a headset. Shift All, get it together because you guys need to get it together. You might want to hire those people. I'm not gonna lie. People who fix the headset, just make an American team, send them about, I don't know, 10,000, 20,000. Well, they say they got a lot of money. Send them a good number. Send them a great number because they're doing this for free. And there's people who's pitching in. If you want to tip those guys, if you have a Superlight 8K, I'll make sure I put the tip in the description below so you can tip those guys, man. Please support those guys because they are. But that's pretty much how I fixed my Meganex Superlight 8K. It has been a $2,000 fiasco. I won't say disaster, fiasco. And there's been a lot of ups, a lot of downs, but I think we're up now. I think we're seeing light of the tunnel. Man, as being my first high-end PC VR headset, man, I feel like I've been put through it. So hopefully my next one is a lot more manageable. And I'm still gonna do that 3-month review. Oh, I said I put up 4. 3-month review of the Superlight 8K. So make sure you stay tuned for that. If you want to see the original review of the headset, which a lot of that stuff is still relevant, go back to that video. Shout out to you guys. 100 subs for that video. I appreciate you. Pimax also sent me the Crystal Light. So if you guys want to see a lower cost PC VR review, then make sure you go back for that, because I'll have that soon after I get my prescription lenses and use the headset some more. And I also am trying to get with Play for Dream to review their Apple Vision Pro like headset, so I'm definitely excited for that. And I'm just happy you guys are supporting me. We're finally getting recognized as a PC VR channel. That's honestly my first love is PC VR, man. That's a community I just grew up in terms of VR, and that's probably what I'm gonna stay in for a long time. But with that being said, with MartydudeVR, remember, I'm just a dude with a VR headset and a lot of fixes. Peace.